While logic and reason make the most solid foundation on which to construct a life, one should realize that the mortar ought to be mixed with a sense of awe, wonder, and respect for the unknown. When you believe strongly in something that hasn't been physically proven, but hasn't yet been disproven either, it isn't so absurd to have a little faith in an extreme or inexplicable claim. After all, we exist in a mysterious, inexplicable universe. There are many subtle aspects to our existence that plague the frontiers of science today that over time we will undoubtedly come to understand. But to continue to insist on an idea or hypothesis in the face of mounting facts, that is delusion, not faith. And to clarify, Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines the word delusion as a persistent false belief regarding the self or persons or objects outside the self that is maintained despite indisputable evidence to the contrary. Belief, as it is popularly defined, is a feeling of being sure that something exists or that something is true. It's based on the fact that you're fairly confident that an idea is achievable within a reasonable doubt. That belief can be based on concepts we gather through observation, logical reasoning, and experience. Faith, on the other hand, is a complete trust in something for which there is no proof. It typically conjures to mind implications that what is needed is somehow out of reach. Hence phrases like taking a leap of faith. It's a term that is usually used in the context of confirming the extraordinary. Yes, it's alright to accept that atheists have faith, and understand that religious believers do not own that word. The inability to accept faith as an operative function of the atheist mind mostly arises as a matter of semantics. Further confusion also emerges from how their faith is exercised in comparison to yours. So what is the difference between secular faith and religious faith? The difference is that someone with religious or blind faith is willing to contradict actual evidence. Put another way, if I have faith in someone telling me that a speeding truck cannot hurt me, and I run out into the middle of a highway in front of an 18-wheeler despite the obvious fact that trucks have killed people in the past, then that would be an example of blind faith. To differentiate between delusional blind faith and a rational, healthy form of common faith, consider the following example. The Wright brothers built a heavier-than-air machine which would allow man to fly in the sky. No one had done this before. They had faith. Everyone after who created similar heavier-than-air flying apparatuses such as the space shuttle, helicopters, jets, and the like, they had belief. Many of science's greatest minds employed faith in order to advance humanity's understanding beyond what it had been up to those junctures in time previously. That said, there's no such thing as instant faith. Faith is the byproduct of several things combined, and at some point there comes a time where people have to make the changeover from belief into faith. That is to say, take that leap of faith when belief is not strong enough to justify action in the thought that an achievement of the extraordinary is possible.